Last summer, while I was studying in Greece, a quick trip to the grocery store turned into a 10-minute staring contest with a granola bar box. It wasn't the language or the kilojoules that tripped me up, but the bright green digestive bar stamped across the front. I kept asking myself what that could mean or why someone might need that, which are ironically the exact same questions I asked myself during grocery trips freshman year. Being an informed buyer means facing marketed nutrition labels like these. Labels were made to try and clarify what a product is, but in many cases, they make something as simple as choosing a snack confusing. As a biology major, I dedicated my senior project to a website about making nutrition accessible to students here at S&T. During the year of research and development, I found myself wondering, what does a body actually need? Of course, I'm not the first to ask this, and my question has been answered many times, whether the answer is paleo, Whole30, or just cutting out sugar entirely. But I'm going to ask you guys to be honest with me here. Raise your hand if you've tried a diet like these. Keep it up if you've failed a diet like these. The numbers are clear, but we all have one thing wrong. We didn't fail our diets. These diets are failing us. Studies have found that statistically, restrictive, self-led diets like these are linked with weight cycling, body dissatisfaction, and disordered eating behaviors. So where are these diets going wrong? Diets rest on one assumption. The purpose of food is nutrition. I would argue that food is so much more than that. It's the cup of coffee that you buy when you meet up with an old friend. It's that one family soup recipe that feels like home. Food can mean connection, culture, and comfort. It can't be boiled down to rules without ruling out some of the joy that it brings too. We need to learn how to balance the whys of food with the fuel of food. And for me, that meant learning 5 things. 1, it's about what you can add. A good diet should make you feel better so as to keep you full and energized longer. This could mean looking at foods you like the taste of to help you like the feeling of them too. For example, there's white rice. I like the taste of it, but I feel hungry only an hour or 2 later. Taking inspiration from my Jordanian host family's mujadara, I began adding lentils to my white rice, which adds a bit of fiber and protein and helps me to feel full for longer. The idea is to find an addition that ultimately makes your meal both feel and taste better. Which brings me to number 2, how to know what to add. When looking at a nutrition label, there are generally 2 major categories: ingredients that increase fullness and energy, and ingredients that help with the taste or preservation of a food, but feel bad to consume and access and tend to add up quickly. A good example of these would be the famous salts or added sugars. On the other hand, prioritize unsaturated fats like those in avocados, or fiber, which isn't digestible but helps keep your digestive system on track. Because it's found in plants, that means it's naturally packaged with a variety of vitamins and minerals that your body needs. Protein takes the longest for your body to digest and therefore helps you to stay satiated for longer after a meal. When looking at a label for these, generally 5% or lower is a low amount and 20% or higher is a high amount. Here's where serving sizes tend to trip people up, because the nutrition facts aren't normally for the entire package. For this, there's a simple and rather literal rule of thumb made by SIUE. The tip of your thumb is a serving of fats, like butter, oils, or salad dressing. Protein is the size of your palm. A cupped hand is about half a cup, which can hold calorically dense foods like nuts or ice cream, and carbs like rice, cereal, or fruit should be about the size of your fist. Once you know how much you'll eat, the labels will be more accurate. It's important to note that these are suggestions of servings to start with, and that it's always okay to save some for later or go back for more. And if labels ever get overwhelming, you can also count the fruits and vegetables that you add to your diet instead. With those, the more variety and volume, the merrier. Number 3, foods don't need to be 10 out of 10 all the time. Rating systems like these can lead to labeling foods as good or bad, when in reality, there is no perfect food or a perfect diet. It's eating the lentils most of the time and just having rice, if that's what fits the occasion or the dish. No addition or subtraction needed. The 4th is how to listen. I keep talking about feeling hungry versus full, but a few years ago, I had no idea what that meant or felt like. This is a fullness scale, and it tells you how much to eat once you sit down. For reference, you want to stay between a 4 and a 7. Hunger is the feeling for when to eat and can be motivated by emotion, taste, physical sensation, and practicality. Emotional hunger might be wanting a sweet after a long day, while taste could be a craving for fried chicken. Physical hunger is what's described on the fullness scale, and practical hunger might be eating lunch before you go to the store, since you know you'll be gone for 3 hours, and physically hungry before you can get home. Understanding your own body's hunger and fullness cues is the foundation of knowing what, when, and how much to eat. Hearing these cues requires listening. Research suggests that it takes about 20 minutes for satiety hormones to catch up with your stomach, which means that a meal should be about 30 minutes. But I'll be the first to admit that sitting alone in silence for 30 minutes straight, listening to my body, sounds a bit excruciating. Ideally, meals are social, but that isn't always realistic. As a college student, I became notorious for multitasking, whether it was textbooks while walking or lecture videos during meals. For me, it helped to gradually shift from videos to music. Cultivating that focus makes listening to your body easier. And finally, number 5, reevaluate often. Once a month, ask yourself these questions. Has anything changed about my lifestyle? Have these changes made me feel better or worse, physically and mentally? What is one small goal I have for next month? The goal could be as simple as to add 1 more vegetable to your meal plan. Your diet isn't a one-stop shop or a battle of wills. In fact, it's not a battle at all. Your body evolved to keep you alive in times of scarcity, and we have the mixed privilege of living in a calorically dense world. It's time to adapt and work with our bodies to build the health span that we deserve. It's time to stop fighting our bodies and to start fueling our lives. Thank you.